and that's okay. You got to deal with that, and you readjust, you reconfigure. And how many times you got to reconfigure your day, anyways, when you think about it? Probably more than you realize. But good morning, everyone. This is Carol, so aka Naughty Boss, with two
Sistas, and good morning, everyone. My name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0. Oh my God, tech issues. They're there, what can you do? And yes, I finally did figure out Rumble. So our episode from yesterday is on there. I'm very excited about that. We are now, our platform is now on, I believe it's 16 different podcast platforms. We are now on Rumble. We are still on YouTube, and of course our Facebook page and in our Facebook group. A lot going on this Fantabulous Friday. So what is fantabulous in your world, you might ask? You go first.
I'm just looking at your t-shirt. What does your t-shirt say? That's cute.
Oh, this is my, I love kickboxing.
Oh, very cute. Very cute. I love it. Love the color. It's nice and bright and vibrant on this gray day. Hopefully some sunshine. It's trying to pop out. So that is a good thing, but it is a fantabulous Friday, even in the midst of a little chaos. Regardless of what your chaos is, we all have our internal chaos and we have our external chaos. And Friday is a day to kind of like throw the chaos out the window and celebrate those wins, celebrate your triumphs, celebrate that maybe you were a trendsetter, celebrate that you had that mindset that just pulled you and catapulted you into a different spot that you didn't even know that you were capable of. And that's the whole point about pushing us to the limit. Sometimes we get stagnant. During, depending on the season, we know that life and us as a human being it goes through many, many different seasons. And we are in the summer season where there's a lot of playtime activity. And you should be utilizing, depending on where you live, utilize the outdoors for that playtime. And yes, adults have playtime too. What can that be? It could be changing up. Instead of working inside of a gym, go outdoors and work out. That could be a power walk. That could be actually doing calisthenics. You don't even hear that word anymore. But yes, you can do calisthenics out there, right? You can do all sorts of things. How about those elasticity bands, the stretch bands? I love using those. And I utilize those not only outdoors, but in a pool. Why not? Especially because they're rubber. So that's doable, right? There's other things. How about playing good old fashioned tag, getting that cardio up and running around, duck, duck, goose. That's a real fun one. And there's just so many different activities that you can do outdoors. Rowing. A lot of people like to cycle by, get on a bike and do some cycling. Other people like to jet ski. That's really good for your inner muscles. It's fun, but you're really using those core inner muscles of your legs to stay on that jet ski, as well as just any kind of water activity. So this is the time of that particular season to really utilize, because guess what? A lot of people are cooped up during the winter, don't you think? And this is the time to get out, explode, and push the envelope on your exercise and your fitness level.
That is so true. And you don't have to fall in love with the idea of working out, but fall in love with the idea of taking care of your health. So for instance, if you have, excuse me, back issues or knee issues, whatever issue you may have, you still can get a great workout by sitting in your chair. So why not, maybe if you have outdoor furniture, you can do it outside or whatever works for you. It's making it work for you. You don't work for it, although you are technically putting in the work, right? But it's making it fun. Now, everybody knows that I love working out. Like I talk about that nonstop. And yes, this morning I overslept. I didn't wake up till a little after 6. And yes, that's oversleeping for me, because I'm typically up pretty early. So I have not gotten in any of my workouts yet because I've been running around like a maniac. That's okay. I will be getting outside I love to do my power walk first, and then I come in and I do another 45 minutes of something else. That works for me. And I am by no means telling you that's what you should do. What I want to impress is do you have a piece of gym equipment, whether it be bands or whatever it may be, that's been sitting around for a while? Why not pick that up? Why not take that opportunity, even if it's just for 5 minutes? We're all at our computers all the time. What if it's taking that 5 minutes, go on the other side of your computer, and lift some weights. My squishies are actually getting a little better. It's still there. Ray, it's Auntie still has the squishies, but it's getting a little better. Make it work for you.
Absolutely, and make it fun. That's the point. Fitness doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be mundane. It doesn't have to be, oh, I got to work out. And that's the point of utilizing the season to your advantage to change it up. Do something that you don't normally do. If today is a day that you say, you know what, it's not raining out, it's a little muggy out, I'm going to utilize, my pool, utilize it. But also you could add activity, even just doing laps, or say you're just sitting around chatting with people. Guess what? You can jog in the pool. You can do leg lifts in the pool. You can do arm movements. So the point being is, if it's a different season, utilize the season to your advantage to change up your daily fitness. Because the bottom line is, I don't care how you slice it, how you dice it, you have to have movement. Movement is essential for longevity bones, for your whole skeleton structure, about your posture. These are really things that, as you age, your bones are getting denser, and you'll find that it's inevitable. You start a little shrinking, right? There's a little shrinkage going on. And I'm not talking about that kind of shrinkage. That's a whole other topic. But your bones do compress. So you want to make sure that your bones are strong, that you are utilizing movement, because I see, sadly, too many people start entering into their 70s and 80s where they really didn't. Maybe they were a little bit more fit when they were younger, and they just, as the 50s and the 60s started rolling around, they started getting a little bit slack in that. When you slack the lag, you're going to really lag even more. And you pay the price as you get older. You pay the price as you get older, because your body just fatigues even quicker, and you're not going to have that same agility. It's inevitable, because as we age, this is part of the aging process. So we do what we can as long as we can, because it's not how you end, it's the endurance of it all to get you to the end, to the healthiest that you can be. Kind of sounds a little morbid at times, but the bottom line is, I feel a lot of people, like even in nursing homes, I really feel there are some nursing homes that really do a great job of making sure, that even if you're in the wheelchair, like we said, there are things that you can do sitting down. Even if your only mobility is your arms, do a little pump action there. You can, they have even weights that are 1 pound that you can certainly use for somebody that's elderly. There's nothing wrong with that. That they can, obviously, we always say, check with your doctor. We are not physicians, but, check with your therapist, your physical therapist. Do something with waist set way and go up and down across your body to keep that moving, because not only are you keeping that movement going, keeping your muscles toned as you possibly can, you're also helping with the flow of your body. So you want to make sure that blood flow is going good, because that's also essential as you age. So don't wait to, the midst of your seniors to now take on that activity if you've never done it. That's good that you do it, but make sure that you're very mindful of where you are at from a physical perspective, to understand that, you're not going to just start out your workout going, strong. You got to build your way up to it. And so utilize the seasons to help build your repertoire of your fitness level by different activities for different seasons.
That is so true. And just back to the muscle aspect of it, I know, especially for many women, sometimes women are like, oh my God, I can't do weight training, I'm going to bulk up. Here's the thing with that. Your muscles move your bones. It's not the other way around. Therefore, as we age, your muscle starts to deplete. Therefore, especially in our respectable age bracket, but in any age bracket, women should always be doing some form of weight training. Again, whether it's with the weight bands, sitting in a chair and, doing some bicep curls. you're not going to bulk up the way that you think you are going to bulk up. You have to have, number one, a lot of testosterone in your system to be, really bulked up. Now, do some women, especially women bodybuilders, do they bulk up really big? Absolutely. But you have to remember they're in the gym or at home working out like hours a day. So
That's true.
look at it.
That
Right.
that is actually a really big category now for, and really a big category for women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s is the fitness to the point where you're competitive, and they call it a lot of bikini this or bikini that. And I give these women so much credit, because when you start, obviously when you're younger and you have that mind focus of that, the end of the road of what you're that goal that you're trying to get to, it is much harder when you're older, not because necessarily of your age, could be, demographics, where you're at, where you live, time, time is a huge component, because when you are training for any kind of sport, never mind training when you're in your 50s, 60s, and even 70s, the amount of mental really focus and commitment is crazy, because you're not even at the gym a couple hours. You're there longer than that. You're there 3-4 hours at a clip. And it's like every day. Not only that, to totally reach, to transform a body completely. And I've seen these body transformations. It's crazy. You are on a very strict calorie intake. You're on a very strict food intake of what you're eating. And it's gruesome. So I give any woman and man, but mostly a woman, because they're all over the place with, keeping, the house and the children and their careers, whatever they might be doing, to actually put in that time. And it's such a huge commitment. So while some people will say, geez, why would someone do that in their 50s or 60s? You know what? Give them credit where credit is due, because it's a huge sacrifice and a huge commitment. And to actually see that transformation, wow, it's incredible.
Right. And it adds to your longevity.
Correct.
Think about, especially in the Northeast during the winter time, your center of gravity sometimes is off peak when you're walking, on snow or ice or what have you. So if you're able to kind of brace yourself, the more stronger you are with the muscles, you're more apt, God forbid, if you do fall, to recover a lot more easily because of that. So that it's really important for women, especially weight training, some form of weight training. Do it for yourself. And obviously there's a lot of great videos on there. On YouTube, one of the trainers that I follow, Tracy Campoli, she does the bat wings, and I think it's like 8 or 9 minutes. And every time I do it, it really kicks my butt. And, I consider myself to be
Good. And
physically fit. So
it feels good to actually physically see some physical changes, even at any age. So, celebrate those wins. Maybe your win this week had something to do with mindset, that you had kind of a foggy brain, or you were, focused and stressed on something that really was not adding value, that started to impact your life in a negative way. And somehow you flip that switch around and you say, you know what, I'm turning that switch off and I'm going to turn this switch on, and really totally change the direction that your mindset was going. So that's really important. So pat yourself on the back that you did a good job. Maybe it was something that you had kind of on your bucket list that you thought you would never accomplish. Or maybe it was one of those things of a checklist that you knew you had to get to, and you finally did, and you completed it. Don't worry about the ones that you didn't get to. Celebrate the ones that you did complete, because guess what? The cool thing about checklists, cool thing about bucket lists, is you can actually go back to them or add them to the next week. But do what you can, stay focused, but don't forget to celebrate your win, celebrate yourself, because guess what? You're the one doing the work. So the biggest congratulations that you can get is from, I did a good job. And it's so important to celebrate yourself.
absolutely. And 1 pound of muscle 1 pound of fat, weigh the same. I
Oh,
have, I,
don't you crack up when you have a conversation with someone and they say, oh, but this weighs more than that. You're like, no.
I've had clients in the past that have argued with me about it. I said, you can argue all you want with me, and I respect that. I respect your opinion, but unfortunately, you're incorrect. Okay. So just a quick a visual. Okay. Let's say my fist is 1 pound, just my fist. Okay. And then this could be 1 pound of fat. So you're seeing, and this 1 pound is 1 pound. The visual aspect of it is
The volume.
the volume. You can't change 1 pound. 1 equals 1.
That's right. I mean, look at cotton balls. To get a pound of cotton balls, you'd probably have a yard full compared to a 1 pound of hamburger. But the bottom line is
Exactly.
it still weighs the same. Just that the volume's different. That's all.
And now, ideally, this has only happened to me about 4 or 5 times since I went on my health journey, starting in my 40s, and I'm now 59. Only happened to me about 4 or 5 times where I've lost the body fat and gained the muscle mass, but it was reversed. So what I mean by that is a lot of women who, and it depends too on how many times you weigh yourself. I'm not a big proponent of weighing myself every day, so I'm going to say that. But when you weigh yourself, if you, we all have those fancy gadgets that hook up to our devices, it will give you a breakdown of your muscle fat, your BMI, and your muscle. So if you are gaining muscle and losing fat, that is an awesome thing. Yet you might not physically see the results in the number that you want to see. But
numbers is overplayed, don't you think? Numbers, like, you know what I tell people to do now? You know, because they get into that, like, you know, I you know, what's this size, or now I'm this size, but it fits better, it looks better. We put too much, especially women, focus on the number. And you could have the same size person who's doing exactly what Jan's talking about and being a size smaller.
absolutely.
Or it may even go up a size, but it fits better and it looks better. So what I say to people is, don't get stuck on the numbers. If the number in the tag of your clothing bothers you, put the tag out. As long as you feel good and it fits good, and you look in the mirror and you say, I'm really proud of the way I look, who cares what the number says?
Yeah, don't put so much emphasis on what you see on the number scale, because it's really a numbers game. If you look good, if you are doing look good, meaning you feel good inside, you feel good about what you're doing, don't pay so much, don't put that focus, don't put that energy, because that is wasted energy on, oh my God, the number isn't going down, it went up. Well, if you look at your stats and see that you gained muscle mass, that's an awesome thing.
It's a better thing that's a better area to gain. So there is something to say about gaining muscle. It's a good thing. Don't get too stressed out about the numbers. And, you know, life is a numbers game. It's a roll of the dice, right? But you know, there are certain things that we can control, and how you control the fat versus the muscle, where you want to gain the more muscle, is it's great that you may be restricting yourself on fatty foods, which that's always awesome. But in order to increase the muscle, you got to do the work. You got to pump, you got to do a little pumping of the iron. And it doesn't have to be, like we said, it doesn't have to be that of somebody that's training for some sort of bikini contest. It could just, you know, they always say a minimum of 20 minutes of anything. Really, number one, will get your heart rate going, which is a good thing to burn calories, but also will actually, you will see some results with that. We're encouraging people, if you've never done anything, to at least get 5 minutes in. So let's start with that. And you can start with, like, if you have an elderly aunt or uncle or grandparent or whatever, encourage them. Hey, we're going to sit here and we're going to have a cup of tea, or, you know, bite to eat or whatever. Let's all, like, move our legs underneath the table, just kind of in a marching, Let's see if we can get to 5 minutes. Let's put the timer on. And you're encouraging them to get that daily movement because again, it will help out with longevity. So the point is get movement in. If you want to start seeing transformation, it's got to be 20 minutes or more. But the other piece to it is just get something there. So we want to make sure that we're impacting all people, all ages, to make sure they get that movement in, because your older self way down the road is going to thank you.
That's right. And in closing, I just want to ask a question, and obviously it's more thought provoking. Can you commit to yourself? On that note, my name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0. We hope you have an amazing weekend. And in the Northeast here, we're going to have some stormy weathers, but we will keep you posted. I'm sure we'll be on Monday, but sometimes you never know. I am with TwoSistas,
and this is Carol, so AKA on this Fantabulous Friday. Enjoy Fridays like the kickoff of the weekend. Make sure you celebrate you. And if you are really being more structured in what you're eating and your fitness level, be mindful of that for the weekend. You don't want to sabotage what you just completed. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself in a bad way that you undo what you just did. And we will see you Monday for Mindset Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.